Welcome back to another Punt Hunter video. Today we are going to be looking at the State of Origin weekend. This weekend is obviously no NRL games, so instead we will be diving deep into some State of Origin analysis and also some of the bets that I want to put on this weekend. Obviously, only being one game, there's not so much to talk about, but I've got a few things to show you. So, first of all, here is my round 15, round 15 picks, and a little breakdown as to what happened with those. So from going forward, I'll be able to show you guys this spreadsheet about color coordinated, so it makes it easier for us to see where we are and how we're tracking. So as you can see, the smatterings of red through the spreadsheet are the ones that I picked wrong, apart from the top results. The top results are just red and green for who managed to win on the weekend and who lost. When you go to the head-to-head, if you see any red, those are the ones that I didn't get through. And same thing for winning margin and anytime try scorer. At the end, the round 15 multi, this is where my results that I picked are in bold and the rest are in red. The ones that didn't come through are in red, and if it's red and bold, obviously I picked those and they didn't come through. Right, anyway, back on to what we are talking about today in this video. Game 2, State of Origin, Sunday, 9:50 p.m, Suncorp. Now, this game is going to be an interesting game. There's a few interesting stats that come to mind straight away about Origin and Suncorp. One of those stats that may be against a Blues victory is the fact that they haven't won in Queensland for over 10 years, I believe. So in Brisbane for over 10 years. They've won two of their last however many games in Queensland over the last 15 years. So that stat alone is telling me that this could potentially be closer. All of those factors that aren't necessarily player-related factors, but are more factors around crowd and around environment that the Queenslanders put onto the Blues in that game. Now, as we can see, there's been a few changes to the Queensland team. Starting at number 1, Reece Walsh comes into the team. He is very much a player of the future and potentially not a player that he's not going to break or crumple under pressure, because we've seen that through his Warriors play recently. But there's always the question, is it too early to be bringing a player like this into the fold? Now, I think that he brings some X factor to that backline. A backline that, let's be honest, got absolutely smashed the last game out. So the induction of Reece Walsh, that pushes Valentine Holmes back to what I believe is his better position of wing. That could be a telling move. Okay. We also see that we have the same backline apart from that. Obviously, Valentine Holmes moves to the wing, as I just mentioned. Kurt Capewell, Dane Gagai, Kyle Felt. Kyle Felt will be needing to have a better game. He got absolutely blitzed in the last game, and I think that's probably the worst game I think I've seen him play. So I'm sure he'll be coming out to rectify some of those demons from game 1. Cameron Munster, well, he's going to be better for the run. Obviously, coming into State of Origin 1, he hadn't played any NRL for a few weeks. He looked a bit slow, not match fit. So having a game underneath his belt and coming into game 2 where the series is on the line at Suncorp, I think he will be better for it. Then we move to the forward pack. A couple of inductions here. Well, one main induction here of Josh Papali'i. Now he is known as the Queensland enforcer. I think this is a massive in for Queensland, and this is a guy that will carry the team with him, and back that up with a Christian Welsh who obviously went off 10 minutes into game one because of his concussion. If they can play big minutes, I think this Queensland team might be in a better position to challenge what I believe is probably an indestructible New South Wales side at the moment. New South Wales has not changed their lineup from game one from memory. No, apart from Jake Trbojevic. Okay, so we've got continuity in the backline here with James Tedesco, Brian To'o, Latrell Mitchell, Tom Trbojevic, Josh Adokar, Jerome Luai, and Nathan Cleary. Now, if I put those players head to head with their Queensland counterparts, I think in every single backline position apart from 6, New South Wales is stronger. That's just my opinion. I think that Cameron Munster versus Jerome Luai, I think Cameron Munster's the strongest 6. But every other backline position, you could go down there and you could say that New South Wales is stronger in every position. You could make a fair case for that. And in the forwards, I think it's much the same. I think that New South Wales are stronger in the starting forwards in maybe five positions. You could probably make a conversation for Papali'i being stronger than Junior Paulo, which I would probably say he is. Christian Welsh maybe being stronger than Daniel Saifiti, so that might be 2. But the others, I don't think you can make much of a case for. I think Isaiah Yo's this year's form is better than Tino. Felice Kaufusi, you could also make a debate with him and Tarek Sims. Sims is maybe the 3rd or 4th string that edge forward that New South Wales would have picked behind Tyson Frizzell and the likes. Jai Arrow, I think Cameron Murray is better. His form is showing he's better than him this year. But I think the forwards are more closely fought, okay? And we look at the interchange bench. You've got Ben Hunt coming on in 14 and Jack Wyden. Well, Jack Wyden is your reigning Dally M medalist of 2020. So if he finds any kind of form, I think he's a massive inclusion. Obviously, it'll be great seeing him off the bench and bringing the impact. Angus Crichton and Mo Fotuaika. Angus Crichton, for me, is one of the best edge forwards in the game at the moment. He is ripping up, and to see him not starting, I think, shows the depth of the New South Wales team. Now, David Fifita is a game breaker, and Queensland have the luxury of bringing him off the bench. But I don't think he will change the game. He got kind of handled pretty well in game 1, and I think he might get handled pretty well in game 2 as well. And special mention to Francis Molo, who makes his debut for Queensland. So that will be pretty cool to see. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the punts, okay? And why I've picked my punts that I've picked, okay? Taking into account that Queensland seem to dominate at Suncorp, I still find it hard to back Queensland. So, here's my punts. Head to head. Now, if we were going on past results, and if we were going on history alone, Queensland at $4 head to head, well, that could be something that you look at. I'm not confident in that. My money, this is a speculative thing if you want to put some money on Queensland, but as you can see, I'm backing New South Wales and I'm backing them pretty large. I'm going New South Wales winning margin 13 plus. It's only paying $1.72, and I think that's where the money will go. I haven't put down any time try scorer for this, but I have done a same game multi, okay? So bear with me. My same game multi is head-to-head New South Wales, 8+ winning margin, Tommy T, or Tommy Turbo, anytime try scorer, Brian To'o, anytime try scorer, New South Wales first to 14 points, New South Wales first to 2 tries, and I think New South Wales will win the both halves, sorry. And that there is a multi of that will bring you the odds of $5.50 in your betting. I think that sums up pretty much where I'm at with what I think is going to happen this weekend. I think that yes, New South Wales don't have the greatest luck at Suncorp, but I think the way that New South Wales played in Game 1, and even with the additions that Queensland have brought into their team for Game 2, being Reece Walsh and moving Valentine Holmes to the wing and bringing in Josh Papali'i, I still think New South Wales will be too good, and I think they'll be too good by a fair margin. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes over the 13-point margin. I think it'll go more 15-point margin winning. But they're my thoughts. As always, guys, if you like the content, please drop us a like, please comment, and subscribe. I'm really enjoying making these videos, and I feel like they are giving you guys some knowledge and some background as to what happens for me when I make my picks in NRL, and giving you guys a little bit of education around what's happening, who's playing, etc., etc. So, yeah, if you guys like what you see, make sure that you follow along with the journey. It's only just starting, and everything's starting to get more and more tied in and refined. So I will catch you guys in the next video. The next video will obviously be, it will be a preview of round 16 in the NRL, going through my bets for that, and potentially a little bit of a recap for State of Origin 2. Right, catch you guys later.